Hi, Tony Selzer here. I got a treat on the line, man. Tony Ratliff, legendary. This is not your normal dentist here.
No.
Serial entrepreneur, and you've been working on some new projects, man. You got a new one coming by. I know we kind of have got like a couple hours scheduled here because you and I are kind of very similar beasts, and we can't just do one thing.
Right.
Right. And so obviously he's a dentist by day, and by night, what do you got going on here?
I've got several things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm teaching at Purdue, which is really fun for me. It's different, keeps me engaged with the community.
Yeah.
I've started 3 startups in the
Okay.
last 3 years, and so we're just trying to grow those.
Okay.
One day those are going to take off, and then I'll step out of dentistry and bring in a dentist to
Work yourself out of a job.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. And the one that we were talking about a little bit was Predictive, which has really got a sexy name here, and I got some idea. It sounds like retargeting. It sounds like getting in front of the consumer. What
Yep.
is that where we're headed with this?
Yeah, so this is some new technology that my
Okay.
partner came up with that is off the charts. I can't find anything like it online or any other company that's doing this. It's similar to a cookie. When you
Okay.
put a cookie on a website,
Okay.
most of your listeners know what a cookie does.
Sure,
so
sure.
what this will do though is it's like a smart cookie.
Okay.
So it can collect a lot more information and gather content. It can discover what the person's actually looking at. So if for an example is if you go on the Nike website and look at the blue 50 Flex shoe, and then you get on your browser, you see a Nike ad. Well, our software will be able to show you a Nike ad with the blue 50 Soft Flex shoe.
Wow.
That's the difference.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
that's the cool thing that it's collecting.
It's awesome as a marketer, a little Big Brother-ish, but
Yes,
all
yep.
that together.
It
right?
is a little Big Brother-ish because we can predict what you're going to look at, what you're going to, your propensity to purchase the
Right.
item. Just, how much time did you spend on the site? Did you watch the video? Did you put it in your shopping cart? Did you pick a color? Did you design a shoe? And we can target that.
and it's the challenge we face as content marketers, right? We know all this information. Can we come with context, right?
Yeah.
Can we create content that's going to engage and get over that Big Brotherish feeling too? Man, these guys are really taking care of me, right?
Yeah.
They're giving me what I need where I want it, right?
Exactly. I mean, we also are cross-platform, which a lot of people would come from the cookie to your PC at home, then the cookie to your mobile, cookie to your iPad. The Smart Pixel will track you all around. So we'll know when you go to your iPad, your phone, and your home desktop, and we're still following you. That's the Big Brother part.
That's some cool stuff, man. So you got into angel investing, man, like a decade ago. Is that right?
Yep. Actually, about 7 years ago. So in 2009, I was doing dentistry, and I had a conversation with a guy, and he's like, "Hey, you ought to come and check out this Gravity Ventures venture fund." And I was like, "All right, sounds good to me." And when I went, I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the investing. I fell in love with listening to the company's pitch and trying to help them figure out their business model.
Yeah.
So, and then I got involved with the community, the Verge community here in Indy, and I just love the energy. I know one time I called my wife and I was like, "Honey, these are my people."
Yeah.
Like
right?
if you ever hang out with dentists,
No,
it's not fun.
Actually, I do
mean,
one. I got to take
okay,
that. I do now too.
But dentists are a boring bunch. Talk about teeth, and that's just not my thing. I want to talk about business and growing companies and stuff like that. So that's been exciting for me when I hit that community and just all the startup people. I was like, wow, this is where I feel comfortable.
Yeah. Just a tremendous movement happened in Indiana. A lot of work we got to really build the infrastructure. And you and I were talking about that earlier. I mean, the difference when you go to the Valley, you go to Boomtown and Boulder, they really have built scaffolding for these startups. And, there's very little from the gap between Verge and the time someone gets funded by a real VC.
Yeah.
And we've got to start working on that. That's where you're kind of taking some early hints to maybe even start a fund that actually helps people do this, right? I mean, Dorsey's got his thing that he's going to, change the world with. And I think he's already headed down that thing. But we do have to build scaffolding for these guys. to get to the next level. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And so this summer we're going to start a new fund called ProBF, which is trying to bring in a lot of new investors that maybe haven't invested in private companies but want to learn about angel investing.
I'm so glad you said that, because this is something I've been, just riffing on with a friend of mine just this weekend. We as investors have been sold a big lie for a long time, right? That the mutual funds and the bankers could manage our money better than we could, right?
Yeah.
They could understand where to put this. But, I'm just here to tell you, if you've got enough money to invest, you probably got enough sense as a business owner or a business person to make some decisions for yourself, to diversify to 10 plays and have one of those win. Really, that's the VC model, right?
Yep.
And we're so, as Hoosiers, so like, oh, they did this and they didn't make. Yes, you're gonna fail once, and you're gonna fail twice, and you're gonna fail 3 times. But it's that one that makes all the other ones worth it.
Yep.
I mean,
I agree. So I've probably invested in 12 or 14 companies, and I have 2 or 3 in the pipeline that are going to be big enough that they're going to cover all of my investments. And as we were setting up this fund, I was sending out an email and I said, we believe that a really truly sophisticated investor should invest in private companies. Why would you only invest in mutual funds? That's been my complaint the whole time. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I hate just giving the guy my money so he can pick a mutual fund to put it in.
Oh, and then the bankers make money by moving money, and there's a whole, I don't even started on the stock market. It's just like it's a fixed game, and we're not the house.
Yeah, no.
So awesome that you're getting down this path. How is it being received?
It's being received really well, because I think a lot of people want to invest in startups. They just don't know how. They have no idea how to find the deals. They have no idea how to structure the deals, or how to, how do I put my $20,000 or my $10,000 into a private company? I just don't know how to do it. I had no clue how to do it. And then, when you join a venture group or you just start angel investing, and once you're an investor or labeled an investor, I mean, the deals start coming for sure. But just having that structure in a venture fund was monumental to me. I mean, it changed the way that I looked at my investing. I'll tell you a quick thing is the guy that runs my money that I don't mess with, I give a little bit that goes to my simple plan, because as a dentist, we don't have a lot of benefits. You have to take care of yourself and make sure that you're covered. So that money, I was having a conversation with him, and he's a younger guy starting out, and he's like, you know what, as soon as I get a little bit more settled, I'm coming to you and I'm going to put some money in some of these deals you're doing. And this was my mutual fund guy. I give those guys a lot of slack because I don't like it. And I see them all out on the golf course. I mean, they're always golfing. So I'm like, who's managing my money? It's just in a fund and somebody else.
Yeah, Eric.
Exactly. Anyway, so it was an interesting conversation, though, him saying, I'm going to invest with you in some of these private companies.
I think, what's there's barriers that have come down, and not only to get into business, to start a technology company, to the friction that it took to get out is not as great as it used to be.
Oh, no way.
And you can scale in tech like you can, so nothing scales like tech. And if you get something that, there are very few in between the Instagrams, right? Where people got 12, 14 employees and they got $1 billion.
Yeah.
But there are so many good, solid companies getting 7 times revenue, 6 times revenue, that are in SaaS space, or that are in the blended services space, or in the solution space. I mean, and that just goes to show, that if you got decent common sense and you're a business owner, you know a few things about what makes things work. Why not get in the game and talk to a guy who's been there, and throw your money in with some guys that are going to help vet deals for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's it's interesting because the tech space is so different than like a dentistry. Dentistry is a lifestyle business, but my practice, I mean, I spent $600,000 building it. I'll work it and I'll make a nice income, but when I sell it, it's worth $700,000. So that's what I paid for. There's no room for that big multiple in dentistry, and that's why I went into tech, just to have that opportunity of, I started that mission company. I have a mission Connect is the name of the company, and we help missionaries that go out into the field and build houses and feed kids and all that. We built a software for them. I specifically started that company on $1,000 because I wanted to prove a point. And, you know, I mean, like I told you earlier, we're sitting on 11 grand in the bank. We're very profitable. It's just it's crazy.
It's great ROI, man.
You build a technology. We build a piece so it pulls from FormStack the data let the people going on trips register. We built a little piece of software that pushes it into their CRM system. Eliminated a whole person's role where she was entering all this data, and the mission was paying her, and now it freed her up to go do something else. Everything's done automatically.
Better use of the funds.
I built the thing for $4,000, and we sell it for about $500 to $700 a month.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Every month.
Only software.
And they can't get away from us either. I mean, we control this
data.
data.
It's a 4-to-1 return on their investment, though. They got rid of a human being that they can repurpose, optimize. It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer for them. They love us. And I'm looking at it thinking, wow, that cost me $4,000, and we're probably making $500-600 a month profit.
I told you, not your normal dentist.